Hello, my podcast people, and thank you for joining me for yet another episode of my favorite online business podcast. If you are tuning in, listening, or watching on the day that it drops, it is Monday, February 16th. Hope you had a great Valentine's Day, fake holiday. But in real news, how good was the Bad Bunny Bowl? I've said this a million times. I record in the past. I put this out in the future. So I am recording this the day after the Bad Bunny Bowl. And I am proud as fuck, to be Puerto Rican. Right? That is the culture that I grew up with. I'm half black, half Puerto Rican. I'm Puerto Rican on my mom's side. My mom's 100% Puerto Rican. And that's the culture that I grew up with. And it was so awesome to see it being fully represented on the screen. And then the incredible reception, on the social medias. Like, I know that we're amazing, but it's great to see everybody else be like, yo, that culture, amazing. And it captured everything. I have said this before on episodes. The reason I love Thanksgiving so much is that is the time when my family gets together. Everybody. And it's what Bad Bunny, it's what that concert depicted. Right, the dancing. We don't have any kids sleeping on the chairs because they just stay up and they're crazy. But the dancing, the music, the food. We don't have any coquis. If you don't know what a coquis is, look it up. But we do have coquito. Different things. Right? And the history, like my grandmother's there, so we have multiple generations. And I unfortunately am not fluent in Spanish. I can get by, but my grandmother, that's her first language. My aunt, my mom, fluent. And they'll be speaking to my grandmother. And it's just like, it's just the best. And it's so welcoming. And it's just come and dance and be happy. And just, it's the fucking best. And it was amazing to see it on TV and see everyone's response to it. And I hope you enjoyed it because it was the best. But sharp pivot into today's topic, which has nothing to do with that concert. But today we are talking about the online business exit. Right? Knowing when to shut it down. This episode is inspired by some recent online business exits from some of my favorites. I am not going anywhere, but again, two of my favorite people, they recently shut it down, and I was like, let me give you a clap, because fuck yeah, and now let me make an episode. So, in case you don't listen to the podcast intro, which I get, if you listen to all the episodes, like I've already heard the intro, but I love the intro. I worked really hard. This is the second iteration, maybe third, but second, like big change of it. But the podcast intro for this specific podcast states, welcome folks to Maestro on the Mic. I'm your host, Dr. Shante Cofield, aka the Maestro, and I believe that your online business should serve you, not the other way around. Join me each week to learn how to actually build an online business that fits your values and helps you live your best life. You get to decide what success looks like. I'm just here to give you the insights and action items. And then I say, Dr. J-Pop, help me get this thing started. Let me highlight a few important lines from that intro. Obviously, Dr. J-Pop, most important. But next up, we have your online business should serve you, not the other way around. The next line, learn how to build an online business that fits your values and helps you live your best life. Next line, you get to decide what success looks like. I would be hugely remiss, given those lines, given what this podcast is about, I'd be hugely remiss if I didn't ever mention in some way, shape, or form, right, on this podcast, that ending your online business, closing it down, shutting it down, walking away from your online business is absolutely an option, right? Miss me with that sunk cost fallacy. All I want is for people to live their best lives, hitting stuff on my desk, whatever that looks like. Right? Obviously, I have a skill set that lends itself to, coaching people on what to do if they want an online business to be part of their best life. But my overall shtick is live your best life, do the thing. And I 100% support if doing the thing looks like walking away from your online business. So that's what we're talking about today. And actually, I don't have a ton to say about it, which is good, because if you can't hear, I am a little bit sick. Not from the Bad Bunny concert. I think I got sick on Friday, but I don't have that much to say on this. We're going to keep it shorter this episode. And then I'm going to go rest. So one of the wildest things about physical therapists. And if you're a physical therapist, you probably experienced this at some point in your career. One of the wildest things is that folks will come in for back pain and then they will leave without a husband. And you're like, what? Bear with me here. Helping people feel what they are capable of, it's a hell of a drug, right? People are like, holy shit, I'm able to do this. I can do this. What else can I do? And, physically feeling something is again, it's such a drug because you can feel it. And something, it's not just someone like, talking to you in your ear about it. You're just like, I feel it. I am capable. What else can I do? To me, this is my whole shtick. And this is why I 100% support folks that are like, what else can I do? I'm done with this. And I'm ready to move on to something else. Amazing. I support it a zillion %. So I have, I don't have like 5 tips to know when it's time to close your business. Like I said just a few minutes ago, over the past 2 weeks, 2 of my favorite people have closed down their online businesses. And again, I am happy as hell for them. And both of them simply said, when you know, you know. Yes. Lean in. My role here is for, when folks say that they know, I'm like, okay, and now do it. Right? Because when you know, and do the thing. So obviously, just as like a little asterisk here, I am cognizant of the financial side of things. And for both of these people, their online business wasn't their primary source of income. Right? So there's a good chance that you listening to this maybe are in the same boat, but I honestly have no idea. I have no idea who listens to this podcast, who exactly listens to this podcast, unless I have no idea of the percentage of folks who are, all in with online business versus those who have online business as a supplemental income. I don't know. All that to say, the financial side of things maybe, may ultimately keep you doing things longer than you wish. And that goes both ways, right? And it's reality and it goes both ways. We see this for folks who want to get into the online business space, but need to stay with the job that they currently have so that, because it pays the bills, right? Or they want to start their own thing, but they got to stay with this job for longer, for a certain amount of time in order to be able to bridge that gap and pay the bills. I get that. All that to say is throwing the like reality piece of like, yeah, I want you to act now. And and I want you to act now. But there's also the reality of like, we live in a world, we have to pay bills, things like that. And so if that's what keeps you doing things that you want to be doing, I get it. But I'm here to give you the permission that you don't need, but that I found that many times people are looking for to do what you know in your gut is the right thing for you. So, having started and run your own online business is dope as fuck. Pat yourself on the back, clap for yourself. And you get to take those skills with you into whatever it is that you decide to do next, right? I just feel like I gotta throw that out there. For one, I gave you the permission, and 2, I give you the reminder of those skills don't go away. Take them with you, right? And I will also say that the like hoarder in me would like to point out that you can always set your business down and then come back to it. Like, it's your business. You don't need to like get hired again. You don't have to like interview again. And it's online. It's not like, in-person business. You have to have the place you're going to do it. That is a friction point. Online, you're like, well, I'll just go onto my computer, onto my phone again, and business is open again. So I actually have someone in my DMs right now sharing her journey of doing this very same thing. Right? She left for a bit to go and work a corporate job and have some guaranteed income while she raised her kid. And now she's back online giving it another go. And I'm like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. Running your business is a lot. It's a lot. I totally get wanting to step back and step away and focus on delivering the service, right? And not have to deal with all the marketing and the customer service and the tech and the bookkeeping and taxes and all these things. I get it. I'm over here ready to become a DJ. If you don't know, Lex got me a DJ controller for my birthday, and it is the most fun thing ever. It's a long hobby though. That's the problem. Like, think about how long a song is. And if you're like, hey, I want to like just work on transitioning one song to the next, but like at the end, well, then you go listen to the whole song, or you can fast forward through, but still it's like a long process. And you're like, oh, I want to like just practice for 30 minutes. And then you're like, it's been 3 hours. Like, it is a real thing. But it is the best. And stay tuned for more with that. But in the spirit of answering the questions, and a question that none of you asked me, which is, why now? Why people leaving now? I do want to take a moment and just offer up some predictions / what I'm seeing / what I'm feeling in the space right now and about the space right now. right? Because I like talking about this kind of stuff. I sit back, I watch things, I see what kinds of things are on threads, and I see what's going on with my own clients and with people in my own ecosystem, and I have thoughts around it. So 3 things that I would like to just point out, bring up, discuss real quickly. First thing is 5-year cycles are very real in my opinion. It's 100% how I like live my life with things. In 5 years, I'm like, all right, new thing, something else. But I think that in general, it's like a pretty solid like feeling for people. And we are 6 years post-COVID. Right? COVID brought a lot of people online that whole year into the next year. And I do think we're going to see more people being like, I tried it and I'm ready to be done. Right? Particularly, I wouldn't be surprised, the folks who did really well early on, both social media wise and financially. And now it's not like that, right? Like everyone was online in the beginning, customers as well, and like wanting to spend money. So there was more eyes, and there was, after we came out of COVID, there was people had money. It wasn't like this crazy financial uncertainty. It was like, okay, we know what's going on, but we're just fucking stuck inside. It was really good time to be online. Really, really good time to be online. Right now, that's not the case. And it's not surprising to me if people are like, I tried it, I did it, I don't really enjoy it, I'm done. Second thing, and I kind of alluded to it just then, is the political climate, right? Fuck Trump every single fucking day. Fuck Trump. I have such hatred for that man in my heart, and I hate that. I don't want to have hate. And he's the fucking worst. Objectively, the worst. And he is divisive as fuck, and he is terrible for the economy. Do not think that the market and the economy are the same thing, because they're not. He's a terrible leader. But what we're going to see and what we're seeing and experiencing is financial uncertainty, plus the fact that it feels terrible to be online, because every time you go online, like someone's getting shot and someone's dying in the street. You're just like, I don't even want to be online. And there's just like people arguing, people are angry, people are on edge. You add those things together, and what you get, people wanting to leave the online space. I get it. You're just like, I don't want to be doing this. It feels terrible. I get it. All right, the online space is saturated. Organic growth is possible, but it's difficult. We have that financial uncertainty piece. I think we're in the beginning of things. I think things are, I'm going to be completely transparent. I'm completely transparent. I only think things are going to continue to get worse. But when there is financial uncertainty, there can still be money. People still have money. But if there's uncertainty, what do people do? They hold on to things and they don't buy things. And so if you're trying to sell things, as you're running your business, you're like, fuck, this is way more difficult. People aren't buying things. Sales cycles are difficult. I just want to help people. You know, a majority of us, what we do, it's considered luxury, right? It is a luxury purchase. It is a nice to have, not a need to have. Even physical therapy, right? Orthopedic physical therapy is nice to have, not a need to have. Like, you'll fucking get better. Your back pain's going to go away. If you just stop doing that shit, your back pain's going to go away. It might come back later, but like physical therapy, let's say it is a grudge purchase for many people and is a luxury purchase as well, especially if you're going cash-based, right? So as there becomes more and more financial uncertainty, people hold on to their money and they're not spending less on these things that are nice to have as opposed to need to have. And suddenly like, this is really fucking stressful and I still have bills to pay. And so what do people do? They leave. They go get in their job. I understand it. Third point here, again, tying into this political climate, right? This political climate, I believe, is highlighting what matters to people. Right? Contrast creates clarity. Jill talks about that. Seeing how terrible everything is can absolutely make you want to lean into things that feel good and that come with more ease. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. Like you just see all this terrible shit and you're like, that ain't for me. Like I'm going to lean into this. It's easier. It feels good. It's local. It's tangible. I feel like I'm making a difference. I get it. I'm not, contributing to Meta, being on the worst platforms ever. Like I get it. It makes sense, right? So yeah, I do think that we will continue to see more folks shutting down their online businesses over the course of the next year, and not because they failed or because they couldn't hack it, but rather because when you know, right? So if you listening to this, you watching this are thinking of shutting it down and walking away, please know that I support you 111 billion %. All right. I'm going to keep my word. I'm going to keep this episode short. I'm going to wrap it up there so I can take this little nasal stuff I got going on and go and rest. Wow. As always, my words just broke there. As always, endlessly give it to me one more time. Endlessly appreciative for every single one of you. Until next time, friends, Maestro out.